Hello, my soccer universe. Well. The Nations League threw up quite some interesting results. Some one may say probably downright shocking. However, I think at this moment, I always question myself. It is really interesting what is happening, and a little bit of a shake-up is definitely something that is interesting to watch. But however serious can we take this? Because the big thing for this particular Nations League is that the first four match days were tagged on a jam-packed season, and the second set is now the last preparation for the World Cup. So national coaches definitely need to experiment as well, and therefore, you might not always get the the good results that you would expect. What's on top of that? And I also think this is a very underlooked thing is that injuries play a huge role. Injuries and fatigue play a huge role in this. So whatever is happening here, I generally say don't overreact to things. However, we still have quite some big nations asking really big questions, especially of themselves. I'm talking here, of course, about Germany. I'm talking England, talking Spain. Those three have major questions, and to a lesser degree, and I will get to that, even there are some questions asked from France. But those three that I mentioned up front had really poor performances in these international breaks so far. And you really gotta ask yourself, what does this mean? And again, we're not talking about only Nations League. What does this mean for the World Cup? Are we overestimating these teams? Are the bookies grossly overestimating them? That is, I think, the much more intriguing question here in many ways. Of course, we had minnows now that are looking rather pretty, and we will have quite an eclectic Final Four, I would say, that no one would have predicted. Well, let's see when we look at the standings. So, with my review of this week, I actually the last 3 days, I wanna actually start in League A and then go down there. And I will not go entirely in the order that is put here, but I wanna start actually with France's 2-0 win over Austria, because that was in a way the match that I looked for most. And I gotta say, I said it already in the short video, France should have led by 2 to 3 goals at the halftime. Injuries on both sides. I would even argue the headlines are on the big injury misses that France have, but I would argue especially Konrad Leimer and whatever was missing in defense for Austria weighs much more heavy because there's a smaller talent pool. France look actually really cohesive and good, and I had the feeling that Griezmann, Giroud and Mbappé look a lot more cohesive than whenever Benzema is in there, because they know each other so well. I was really impressed what they were doing over the flanks, creating chances left and right, and there was a few times that it was just a foot that prevented a goal. Or in Mbappé's case, in the first half, where he made a step over and then he lost kind of the ball, although he was clear on goal. Patrick Pence made one world-class save, I think it was a bicycle kick that he put on the crossbar, and then just intuition going to the right and saving the shot from Griezmann, where it really should have been in. And as long as the half went, I thought already after 10 minutes, this could get really ugly for Austria. They are not on the same playing field than France. So that was the first thought. And the longer the half went, the way that France are wasting chances, I can very well see Austria winning this just 1-0. Although I did not put a lot of hope into that thought, because I thought it was just a clear difference in class between those two teams. Funnily enough, though, in the second half, Austria created 2 minor chances. I think if Schlager connects well, he probably could have produced a shot on goal. But just at this moment that Austria seemingly got a little bit better in the game, and the game was a little bit more open, Sabitzer just cannot control the ball well enough. The ball falls to Giroud. He immediately plays it to Mbappé, and he runs through the Austrian defense and shoots the goal. And even again, the goalkeeper speculating that they will go in the far corner, and Mbappé probably not hitting it as he wanted, and it goes over the goalkeeper in. all speculation. I thought, well, I don't want to blame the goalkeeper on this goal. It didn't look quite right. However, I also have to say, it's the same thing for the famous Maradona goal against England in '86. Why are you not just pulling a shirt and taking him down? That yellow card, because the way he was running, yes, he's fast, but there were 4 players and there was at least 2 that had a clear shot on him. It was amateur defending. That's all. But it was a fully deserved lead at that point. Austria then, whatever they brought on, I honestly think did not do anything. I also have had to mention Arnautovic now has as many caps. He's not a leading caps together with Andreas Herzog is 1 or 3, and he will probably overtake him in the next game for 1 or 4. And then in the 65th minute, a beautiful cross from Griezmann and a typical Giroud header, 2-0. So France, I was really impressed. I was also impressed by the kit. It looks. I have to say, I did not like the jersey first because I thought it looks too plain. But as a kit, it looks absolutely awesome. And I even like the Austria kit overall. I don't necessarily like the jersey with the box on the front. But the matchup, this was wonderful to see. Although I probably would have preferred France in Islam, like the blue against the white and the black of Austria. To see what the difference is that in the 78th minute, Giroud and Griezmann come off, and who comes on? Nkunku and Dembélé. I mean, it just doesn't seem fair in many ways. The last thing is Koundé had to come off with an injury in the first half, but I think Saliba probably is a good replacement for that. But the odd one for me, and the one that's nearest and dearest to mine, is Mike Maignan. Started for France, and to me he always should start for France because I think he's by far the superior goalkeeper. Meanwhile, he had not to do anything in this entire game except running to get maybe the ball from one shot that went far. They were really saying he's not. It's a German wordplay, but it's saying the goalie he was not playing goal. He was standing in goal literally, and he comes off with an injury that is now taking him out for 1 month. Not happy about that. But again, what France showed, I really think that even with all the injuries out there, they will be a good team overall. That's just my feeling. Croatia actually handed it to Denmark. And again, jerseys, not sure I like any of these, but Croatia thoroughly dominated Denmark, took a deserved lead through Sosa. Then just Denmark pulled one back with a beautiful shot by Eriksson. And then at that moment where the goal was scored, Meyer comes out for Kovacic, and 2 minutes later he scores the winner. The goal by Sosa, by the way, is a brilliant shot, the first one taken, but I think a thoroughly deserved win for Croatia. We have now 2 wins over Denmark and are taking the lead in the group. So very interesting there. Belgium played a brilliant first half, especially De Bruyne. It was a De Bruyne-Batshuayi show. First was scored by De Bruyne, assisted by Batshuayi, and then the other way around in the 37th. There were many chances in between. Belgium really showing what they were. But in the second half, Wales came back. Kiefer Moore scores a goal. And while there was still a lot of control for Belgium, and they actually had a goal taken off, it was not as convincing as in the first half anymore. The Dutch scored 2 really nicely played goals through Gakpo and Bergwijn, but most importantly, and this was kind of a real a real focus for Hal, is to not concede a goal, and that they achieved, although Milik probably should have scored a chance there. But overall, the Dutch played really, really well. I just don't like those blue jerseys. I'm sorry. I really like my Dutch in blue and orange. But this is Nike taking it to the worst. But, that's beside the point. But I know that Poland is always a team that flatters to deceive a little bit. But what the Netherlands showed was actually quite positive, I would say. Not something we can say of Germany. Hungary deserved that 1-0 and probably should have been 2. Yes, Germany had a lot of control, but it was almost like what we'll talk about Spain. A lot of empty possession. no speed. There wasn't the precision of the pass. It was just all not really there. And then the Hungarians scored a brilliant goal. A Soboslai corner that Solai with his heel lobs over Man Neuer. I mean, it's one that beggars believe, and it was the first one in this Nations League campaign. And then when the Germans opened up, I mean, they scored one goal that was rightly taken off for offside. Then they had another good chance where Sané muffed the chance. But honestly, Kleinheisler should have probably made it 2-0 for Hungary. Hungary defended really, really well against this German team and they fully deserved that win. And Hungary have now a real shot of making it to the Final Four and winning a group with Germany, Italy and England. This has a little bit Costa Rica 2014 vibes, this entire group. But this goes on home and away basis. So a really, really remarkable result. What's also remarkable is that I have been lauding Adidas shirts so far. But all Adidas shirts that I've seen so far, and it was the first time that I was really aware of it, have one superior flaw. On the back, they have this patch behind the arms that just looks awful. It makes it look cheap. Without that patch, I think the Adidas shirts all look really, really good. That one looks awful. Absolutely awful. And so I don't know who is the big winner in the jersey game so far. Definitely not England. Their new home jerseys. I don't want to critique now because I want to focus more on the Nations League. But I gotta say, if the gradient is done the other way around, I think you might be onto something. But that didn't look good. And England also didn't look good. I made a short video about that one too. I watched this game. I thought that Italy came out storming, and again an injury-riddled squad for Italy. There were major players missing. However, I think that these young players, it actually helps because they actually want to play for this spot in the squad. And I gotta say, in the first 10 to 10 minutes, Italy really had a good chance. Then England got the game a little bit more under control. However, without really creating chances. Second half, much better. It went a whole lot more up and down. I think England were starting to kind of take over until Italy, after a brilliant Bonucci pass. Absolutely brilliant Bonucci pass that Raspadori takes down, and then again, no one is attacking him. He can take the ball down, wiggle left, wiggle right, and put it into net from far out. It was not good what was happening there, honestly, for the England team. And it's 1-0, and then Italy was much, much closer to make it 2-0, and Di Marco hit the post only in the last 10 minutes. I think Italy, who invested a lot, looked shaky. And I have to say, this England team, for me, the biggest question is they have a lot of brilliant players in there. But I feel that maybe they might be defensively sound at one point, but you need to kind of make attacking patterns, have it more fluid, because you have a really, really talented squad. But I think the problem for Gareth Southgate is always the going forward part. And I think now the quality of squad in 2018, the squad was inexperienced and needed to build. He was perfect for that. In 2020, with home support largely and a good draw, but you could rely on a few bright spots. However, meanwhile, the talent pool is getting bigger and bigger, and it's a little bit the France problem as well, I would say, but on a slightly different level, because the explosion is so big, I feel, for England. So for me, it's really, really, I think that what he would need, he's a great man manager, but I think he would need an assistant coach who can create some, an offensive match plan to kind of have someone to help him at the side. As for Italy, as I said, it was not great, but coupled with the Hungary result, Italy have now a chance to make it into the Final Four, and I have to say, the signs are positive because the young players didn't play all that badly overall. So very, very interesting game, I gotta say. Yesterday, the Czech Republic, similar to Austria in France. I mean, Portugal completely dominated from the beginning. But just when I thought that the Czechs are getting the game under control, Leao assists a lot and he makes it 1-0. Bruno Fernandes, after another nice Mario Rui assist, I think was also sent by Leao, makes it 2-0. Schick misses a penalty before the half, and that was the game. Then Dalot makes another one, and at that moment I'm thinking, are only Manchester United players scoring? When is Cristiano scoring? I think he had him the nose broken at one point because he crashed into Vaclik. No, it wasn't Cristiano who assisted Diogo Jota to make it 4-0. But that was a really, really good performance by the Portuguese, I gotta say. And they might be the sleepers out there. Because if their coach, similar defensive-minded coach, if he has the ability to unleash their offensive potential while keeping it straight on the back, this Portuguese team can really surprise. I have the feeling. Because they have loads of talent, especially offensive talent up front. And also remarkable that all the Manchester United players actually played well with each other there. But we gotta talk Spain against Switzerland, because this was, I mean, it's always the same movie. I think Spain needs a few games to get rolling. This was same old boring Spain. Pass. There is no speed. Either you have precision or you have the speed, but you cannot have both with them. And their set-piece defending was atrocious. Watch the 2 goals that they conceded. The one through Akanji. You see even the wrestling of Azpilicueta in the box, because they knew, we have to defend, we have to mark. And then Akanji is there and can take almost a free shot into the net. No one is there. It's a defender. He needs to be marked. It was absolutely ridiculous. Yes, Asensio sends Alba beautifully, and he scores the goal. But almost immediately, again, it's a set piece, and Embolo, I mean, there was Akanji had a foot, and then Embolo got it in. And it is 2-1 almost immediately, and Spain have no answer. I mean, I couldn't watch the game for about 10 minutes. After that goal, and I came back and I said, I'm noticed they will not do anything. There were no chances. I mean, Switzerland really controlled this one. Can I also say something about the jerseys? I'm wearing a white Switzerland jersey. Those jerseys are actually grey. Is there a more neutral color than grey? It just is so Swiss to me. Still not looking good, because I don't like grey, but I thought this is a very neutral shirt. But honestly, boy, Spain has serious troubles going forward. There is no penetration there. And they can get easily frustrated, and this is something that they have to address. And I think they will play better against opponents that are a little bit more open. That is also clear. Let's go through the other leagues. In League B, we had a quite big result already on Wednesday evening with Scotland beating Ukraine 3-0. Yeah, a little bit late, and the goals came late. McGinn gets the breakthrough in the 70th, and Lyndon Dykes scoring 2, assisted by Fraser in both cases, meaning that Scotland took control over that group. Then Bosnia with a 1-0 win, Demirovic getting the goal just before for the half, securing their spot in League A already. Finland and Romania only a 1-1 draw. Then we see Ukraine took it out on Armenia 5-0. A huge result. Slovenia over Norway. Slovenia over Norway 2-1. Norway took the lead here through horrible defending, and Haaland puts it in afterwards. But Sporad in the 69th gets an equalizer, and Benjamin Seško with a tentative shot from far out. Goalie not very well placed. If you have a chance, see the goal. It looks totally like a goalkeeper mistake, because it's from so far out and he just cannot get, because he's not well positioned. And Slovenia get a big win, which, and let's go to the bottom result here, helps of course Serbia, who completely rocked the Swedes 4-1. They were 1-0 down, but outplayed them largely. Looked very impressive in their forward play. I want to know, I have a feeling that this Serbia team could do something, but then they're in a group with a solid Switzerland team and a Brazil team that is everyone's favorite. Mitrovic getting a hat-trick and Lukic heading one in as well. So paired with that, we have now a Norway and Serbia going for the promotion spot, and Sweden is in relegation trouble, which is something you would not have expected. Now, as for the other results in the Scotland group, Ukraine had to win. Scotland beat Ireland, so Scotland are ahead. And Israel also secured their spot in the top league with a 2-1 win over Albania. Also, rather remarkable result. League C also had a few remarkables. Kazakhstan is through. Win Slovakia lose to Azerbaijan, not really expected. Turkey come back 3 times against Luxembourg, but still secured a top spot, as does Georgia with a win over North Macedonia. And Greece, despite losing to Cyprus, are also already through to League B, where they kind of belong. And in League D, Moldova get a big win at Latvia that they needed to keep in contention for League C. And Estonia wins their group thanks to a 2-1 over Malta. So let's run through the standings. We see Estonia through. Latvia and Moldova still have stuff to play for, with Latvia having a slight advantage, but that was a really big win for Moldova. And we see that Latvia have to go to Andorra and Moldova have a home game against Liechtenstein. So it's all is possible there. In League C, we said Turkey is through, Greece is through, Kazakhstan is through, Georgia is through. Not all of those were expected, to be honest. And except for the relegation spots in the Group C2, everything else is already decided. But it's a 3-way between Kosovo, Northern Ireland and Cyprus of who will go down there. In League B, Scotland, Ukraine have a head-to-head that will decide who will go up into League A. Israel is up there, and probably everyone will want to play against Israel. Bosnia is up there, and Norway and Serbia have a head-to-head coming up to decide who will go through. As for relegation, Armenia ahead of Ireland, up there. Russia, of course, goes down. And then Finland and Romania, with Romania outside chances, and Slovenia, Sweden. Slovenia having an advantage over Sweden. Unexpected. Totally unexpected. And finally, in League A, it's pretty easy. Croatia play Austria, France, Denmark play France. So that's why the probabilities match up so nicely. If Croatia go through, Austria go down. If Denmark go through, then France will go down. It's as simple. Portugal and Spain have a head-to-head. Now Portugal holding the advantage because they have more points. Hungary and Italy have a head-to-head in Hungary, hence the advantage to Hungary, who also can afford just a draw. And the Netherlands, despite only being 3 points ahead, they have in the head-to-head a 3-goal lead. And that will be hard for Belgium to make up, one would think. As for the favorites of who will win the Nations League, we have, of course, the Netherlands now. Portugal are in control, Croatia and Hungary. Those are the 4 teams that we would at this moment expect to be in there. But Italy have chances, Spain have chances, Denmark have chances, and Belgium has very, very minor chances to unseat those 4 teams. But I think this is a Final Four that you would not have necessarily expected. A Final Four that will be held either in the Netherlands or in Belgium, as far as I know. The remaining teams that are already out of contention, which is also nicely 8, are ordered by the amount of points and goal difference that we had. Upcoming games, we have in League A already today the decision in Group A between Austria, Croatia, Denmark and France, and we have also Netherlands against Belgium. I don't necessarily know what I will be watching. I'm just thinking I need to watch Netherlands against Belgium, and then we have to see. I probably will be patriotic and also Austria, Croatia. Maybe I use so I have 2 screens, and maybe with the phone I can get a 3rd screen to have Denmark, France on. We have nominally a pretty big one between England and Germany. It just doesn't matter because the game that matters is Hungary against Italy, literally. And then we have Portugal against Spain. Also, Portugal can afford a draw, and think it's pretty clear in League A. In League B, the big matchup is Ukraine-Scotland on the very bottom, and at the same time Norway against Serbia. Really interesting. I think one of those 2 I will probably watch. Don't know yet which the rest is rather also runs. League C, you don't really need to watch because almost everything is decided unless you want to see who gets relegated from the Greece group, where we have a Kosovo-Cyprus matchup. And then League D, we already said where it's going. So yeah, Nations League. One more match day and then we'll have a Final Four coming. Really interesting stuff, I would say. But again, it's more interesting because what does it mean for the World Cup? Again, injuries, I think will be the big story leading into the World Cup and at the World Cup. And I have said it before, I have a feeling this will be a tournament of surprises. In any case, let me know what you thought about the Nations League games so far, and which ones are looking forward to watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey there! I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, here are some videos and playlists that you may enjoy too. Also, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking on the bell icon so to get notified whenever something happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye!